Sportsfeld. It is fall.
Yeah.
Officially autumn.
It hit me like 10 minutes ago that it's October in like a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
And as we get towards fall, we get towards all the trappings of fall. Means baseball season's almost over.
True.
Mercifully.
Thank God.
Mercifully.
Is it just like, I don't know, the Jays were bad last year. This season felt long though.
Yeah.
Like really long.
Well, the games didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
That was a big part
for
of it.
anybody, kind of.
Really, really. There was 2 week bursts of you got to see this, and then you're like, whatever.
Yeah.
Vladdy's first week is like, you got to see this guy hit. And then Bo's first week, it was like, you got to see this guy. And the rest of it was like, you don't have to watch this.
And even like around the league, there wasn't like, there was like Bryce Harper on a new team. And that didn't work. Nope. But that's what I mean. That was like
Totally.
the big thing. I mean, I'm sure if you're a fan of the competing teams, you feel differently, but
The league is sort of broken.
there's only like 8 of them.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the strike.
I don't know, because they're all still making money hand over fist. Anyway, this week on Sportsfeld, the Blue Jays season crawls to a close, and I have a big question about it. Auston Matthews.
Not great.
Auston Matthews. What the fuck are you doing, Auston?
Can't even get through the fucking preseason.
Can't even.
We just got the Marner thing.
Childish behavior.
And this is obviously.
We're upset about it, obviously.
Yeah, it's because it's stupid. It's so
Really dumb.
It's so fucking dumb.
We're going to get into it, and there's some miscellaneous stuff. I would say this. If you thought the Raptors winning a championship meant people aren't going to get upset about stuff like an arbitrary ranking by ESPN, boy, are you wrong. And
I just did before we started.
first day, we already had an argument about this.
And you're right. You're absolutely correct. Absolutely 100% correct.
We are good at, you know what we're good at? I've learned this. We are good at starting a sentence with who would care about this, and then ending the sentence with both of us caring about it passionately.
Yeah.
Like, this is a dumb thing to care about, and then 2 minutes later, we're like, well, how the...
You literally said, oh, Raptors, and I said, who would care about that? And then I yelled about it for 5 minutes.
And also, Jake, what do you have there in front of you?
I have a beer. It's called Big Train.
It's once again time for Brewery of the Month, Left Field Brewery.
I'm going to see if I can get the direction of this right. Nope. Still confusing.
If you didn't listen to last week's show, here's what the thing is. Left Field Brewery has graciously given us 3 beers to sample over the course of September. Last week, we sampled the If You Hear Any Noise Sour, which was fantastic, and I thought about it all week. This week, we sampled the new Big Train 0 IBU IPA.
I'm very excited for this one.
You've been talking about this all week. Big Train. It's a 6.1 ABV.
I
It's
haven't
a
had breakfast.
0 IBU IPA. Juicy, hazy IPA with no bitterness. It's an autumn seasonal.
Oh, that's so good.
That's
Holy shit, that's good.
Jake's finna bust. It's an autumn seasonal in LCBOs. Hits the shelves starting this week. Remember, folks, we want to highlight the best breweries in Ontario. So, if you have a favorite brewery you want featured on the show, reach out to us on Twitter and make sure to @thatbrewery so they know we exist and we can get free beers and drink them in front of you.
Fuck. I could drink, this is 6.1. I could drink 100 of these and get in trouble.
It is 11 a.m. for sure.
Oh,
okay.
that's so good, though. I love it.
I'm also having black coffee because that's who I am.
I should
Chaser.
have probably eaten something before drinking a 6.1% beer.
Well, here we are. Okay, here we are indeed. We have just a handful of games left in the Blue Jays season, mercifully, thank God. And this question's been on my mind for the last week. By the way, good beer, would not recommend chasing it with black coffee.
I can see that, like, the whole point of this beer is that it's, like, light and easy to drink. Follow it up with a nice gulp of
That does not mix too great. Anyway, the Blue Jays.
Drink this way too fast. This is not good.
They're going to be very bad. Not going to be.
Yeah.
They've been very bad.
They are very bad.
We're talking about, at best, the 5th worst team in franchise history. And here's the thing, right? When you go into a rebuilding year, the idea is that you are going to figure some things out about some players that are on the fringe, correct?
It's kind of the whole point.
That's the quote-unquote advantage of it.
Like, even when the Leafs were rebuilding, it wasn't, boy, I hope Auston Matthews is good. It was, everyone around him.
To take it back even further, there was a year where it's like, well, we're going to be bad, but we're going to give Morgan Riley 25 minutes, and that's just going to be... Well, the Blue Jays gave a lot of at-bats to a lot of players. And I am here to say that I don't think we learned anything about anyone that we didn't already know.
So when you sort of introduced this idea, 15 minutes ago to me, and I said, my immediate reaction was, no way. Can't be true.
Well,
Might be true.
Yeah. Here's what we knew coming into the year about the guys that maybe we learned something about. We knew Vladdy was a good hitter. Point proven, right? He's
maybe.
This is his floor, right? We assume this is about as bad as he's going to get for the next little bit.
If it's not, there's another discussion to have.
Defense is as advertised. Nothing surprising there. Has his flashes. Maybe we could say we learned that Bo Bichette is ready earlier than we thought. I'll give you that as a learning.
Yep. He's better. He's definitely...
He's already ready.
He's better than I thought he would be in his first 3 months as a Major League Baseball player.
He's already ready to play in the major leagues. Maybe we can say Kevin Biggio being MLB player is a learning. How about that?
Yeah, he hit for the cycle. That's cool.
Now I would say every other player on the roster is not a learning. I didn't learn anything about are we any closer to knowing anything about any of these guys?
I mean, I learned a few of them existed. That was fun.
True. I say we learned more no's than we did yeses, right?
Yeah.
Nobody of those guys that are...
No, Reese McGuire.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. We learned that Reese McGuire is a capable backup catcher.
Yeah, we learned that, but
That's worth 95 losses. Oh, jeez. Listen, I love Reese
McGuire. But he is a capable, high-ceiling backup catcher, which is not nothing.
Valid.
It's not gonna win you a bunch of games. You're not going to build the franchise around, but you need, as we said last week, you do need those kind of guys to compete. You need fucking 20 more of them. But I think we learned about Reese McGuire this year.
Okay. And it's a smaller sample size than I'm willing to admit.
You're the lead. You're
I
the
know, but it's like
you're the conductor of the Reese McGuire train.
That's true. I'm going to try to
come on.
That's true. But I'll tell you this: I learned guys that I knew I wouldn't like. I knew I was correct in not liking them. How about that?
Yep, Derek Fisher, Brandon Drury.
I don't need to ever see Brandon Drury play another baseball game in my life.
I got bad news for you, buddy.
He's not. He's getting non-tendered.
You think?
He's going to arbitration. That's the thing.
Oh yeah. Okay.
See you, buddy. I'm not paying you 1.5. Get out of here. Billy McKinney. Don't need to see that ever again in my life.
Rowdy
Tellez.
Rowdy's still the question. He's still kind of a question mark, I would say.
I'm fairly confident that Rowdy Tellez is a quadruple A first baseman.
He's definitely leaning that way. Yeah.
There's some people that we thought we were learning about that I now look at it as a bigger picture of seeing the whole year and go, well, that's sort of exactly what I thought he was.
I learned
Lourdes Gurriel Jr.
You can start with him. Yeah.
I mean,
I like him more as a player than I did a year ago.
How much more? Maybe a little bit more?
A little bit. I'm not like, sweet, he's here now, we're set. I learned that Randall Grichuk isn't as good as I thought he was. Or as I shouldn't say as I thought he was, as I expected him to be, I should say. I thought he was going to have a really good year. Yes. He hasn't had an awful year by any means, but...
He is... I
prefer him to Kevin Pillar.
I'll say this about Randall Grichuk. I'm not surprised that he has big Septembers on bad teams. How about that for a compliment with faint... Damn with faint praise. Because,
yeah.
He's a dude that is going to hit like 220 and get on base under 300, but hit 30 home runs. And that's the kind of guy who hits 8 home runs in September when nobody's trying. Not to dampen anybody's spirit.
No, you're
all
right.
the Randall Grichuk lovers out there.
No, you're right, though.
He's not going anywhere, so.
Again, still better than Kevin Pillar.
And Randall Grichuk has
Which shouldn't be our fucking barometer for, how we measure our players.
Randall Grichuk is better than every other player that came to the outfield this year.
Yes.
I wish we knew more
Except
about
maybe Lourdes.
Teoscar Hernandez. I would love to say that he took a huge step forward, but I think he took a step sideways.
Yeah.
He's the exact same guy.
He can't really field. He can hit sometimes. When he hits, he had that 3-week period where you're like, oh, maybe this guy's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of his season was exactly what it was. I learned nothing about Jonathan Davis. Or any of the... I know.
You were so high
I was so high on him. And then he turned out to be... worse Billy Hamilton, I guess.
There is also the weird question as to why the front office just refuses to give Anthony Alford. He just doesn't exist to them. You would think he would be priority number 1 in September.
I wonder if and I know the answer is no, but there's no publicity about this part of the season because no one gives a shit, nor should they.
Right.
A 15-inning game between the 2 worst teams in the division gets
whatever
some press.
To say. No.
He got more attention for that home run than he has gotten for anything in his career.
Hitting a walk-off in game 155 against the 106 Los Orioles is not earning him a job.
I'm struggling to find the Anthony Alford thing because I think we all want...
I wanted it for him pretty bad.
We all want Anthony Alford to succeed, but...
He was supposed to be the guy who took over for fucking Pilar.
And to your point about not learning anything, I don't even know if he's not I don't even know if he's bad.
Yes.
Yes, he's bad, or yes,
No,
we don't
I
know.
agreed.
Yeah.
It certainly seems like the team thinks he's not an MLB player.
Which maybe.
Because they are not giving him a chance to be an MLB player.
That's what I mean.
The least important games they
We
will
haven't
ever
even
play.
seen him really, so to know whether or not he's
Bothers me, but I this season has been an exercise in beating the questions about the lineup out of your soul.
Hey, remember?
I could come in every day and say, why is Brandon Drury playing first base? But now I'm just like, I'm tired.
I have a question about the Blue Jays season as well.
Yeah.
Remember Devin Travis and Dalton Pompey?
Yeah, Devin Travis.
Just remember, I literally just remember that they are people.
Yeah, Devin Travis is going to hopefully have a team sign him next year.
I guess, yeah.
That's got to be the hope. I don't know. The poor Devin Travis, man. Talk about projecting hope.
Is Pompey still in the organization? I know he's hurt, but because he is always hurt. But
That's a great question. Disappeared a little bit. I think we got waived, didn't he? Didn't he get DFA?
that was I think so. Yeah. Shame.
Nobody's calling on Dalton Pompey, and nobody's calling on
No.
Travis.
No. We learned a little
Team sucks.
about pitchers.
Did we?
I learned Wilmer Font is a person. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a fun day.
Yeah. Oh, here's something that I meant to do this off the top of this segment. I would like to walk something back that I said last week about Vladdy Jr.
Okay.
I misspoke when categorizing my concerns about Vladdy. I said it seems like he doesn't really give a shit, which is not true.
Yeah.
He is out of gas.
Interesting.
Admittedly, even he said he's not 100%. He's been tired.
He's been playing since what, May?
Yes. And I mean, he played in the minor leagues before that.
Mm-hmm.
It is a underrated physical and mental grind to play 162 games. It is every single day.
With expectations on a 20-year-old.
Yes. And on a team that has basically been playing meaningless games since he showed up.
Yeah.
We had this, I'm pretty sure you saw it, the stupid ass. They said he doesn't lift weights.
Yeah. Which, like, obviously he does. He hits base.
For the record, Jake and I lift weights all the time.
I'm an expert.
Constantly lifting weights.
Yeah. But he hits baseballs 450 feet.
Doesn't need to lift weights.
He doesn't need to, but like I'm also not sure that you can do that without being in a gym before. And even he clarified that he doesn't in the off season.
Well, here's the thing, right?
Like
Vlad
maybe you're just freakishly talented that you can, but I haven't.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Let's say in a hypothetical world he doesn't lift weights, right?
Yeah, it doesn't
He
matter.
hits the ball 450 feet. How far does he need to hit it? What does he need to do?
Yeah.
The real thing is
Conditioning, sure.
It's conditioning.
That is fair.
Because it is a lot of baseball. And it's a lot of, as much as it doesn't seem like it, fielding every day and hitting every day and running every day is exhausting. Without days off, really.
And I noticed this because I am stupid, so I was watching a bit of that extra inning game.
Boy, oh boy.
I turned it on in the bottom of the ninth because I got the score alert that it was a close game and they were sort of rallying. And I was like, sure, I'll watch that. Still, for the 45 people who were at the game, Vlad was up. It was 9-8 for Baltimore. 2 men on base. Vlad was up. Still, every person in the building, phone out, filming,
of course,
waiting for the walk-off.
You still want the Vlad walk-off.
And to your point about exhaustion, like we've talked at length about how he handles the moment and how it's great. We saw it in the home run derby. We saw it in Montreal. We saw it in his first game. I'm not saying the pressure gets to him, but I do think being 20 and playing with those expectations for 6 months is tiring.
Yes. So I'd like to walk back not giving a shit. I would like to say that it appears that the conditioning has caught up with him. Yeah,
which for a 20-year-old is totally fair.
And we're not about to be like body shame him. He can be whatever size he wants.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
But he's admitted that conditioning is his priority in the offseason. He wants to play all 162 next year.
Imagine he just comes back like jacked and fit.
Skinny Kyle Lowry.
Be very funny. Not funny. Interesting.
As long as he can hit. I don't care what he looks like as long as he can hit.
Yeah. Well, Pablo Sandoval was an MVP candidate on the Giants, and everyone's like, great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I guess David Ortiz wasn't a huge gym rat either,
Manny Ramirez strikes me as a guy who really, hit the gym every day and had a regimented workout routine.
But that's, you mentioned pitchers. You said Wilmer Font. I can't think of a pitcher that, forget people in this city love to look far down the road and go, who's on the team when they're competing, right? I can't think of a pitcher who deserves to pitch in 2020. Forget 2022 when they may be competing.
Ken Giles.
Ken Giles. Yeah, if they don't trade him. Wilmer Font, you could say. Yeah, so we got an opener and a closer.
I'm thinking.
13 to go.
I mean, I'm intrigued by TJ Zoik. I don't think he's great,
Boy,
but
oh
I'm intrigued by him.
Sure.
Anthony Kay's already hurt. That's fun.
I mean, these guys are going to compete. I'm not saying...
No.
I'm not saying they won't pitch next year for the team. I'm saying I don't see anybody that I now go, oh, next season, blank is in the rotation opening day.
This is not an answer to that.
Okay.
But this is a question because I'm curious. And because we haven't seen him in fucking 7 months.
Oh, boy.
Still curious about Matt Shoemaker.
Oh.
How will he come back? Will he come back? Let's find out.
I mean, I love you. I love the guts there.
He was going to be the guy in this bad...
We'll see. He definitely had 5 games.
Okay. So,
Lay it on me.
I just said the sentence, Matt Shoemaker was going to be the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to walk back my earlier comment from a couple weeks ago that maybe the Jays are on the right track and that next year they'll be kind of good.
Right.
They're so bad. I feel like
there's so much.
I feel like we do this every few weeks where we're just like, maybe, and then we go, oh, they're so.
The realities of life weigh down on us.
Yeah, like they're a long way away.
As I said a couple weeks ago, my concern is that Bo and Vladdy hit really hard, and they are gems, and the team never comes close.
It does. They
win 88 games every year. And we go, that's a good year. But he goes, not even close.
Well, there's 2 wildcards now. 88 games to get you into a playoff game. But
fingers crossed.
But there is the fear, and it does seem to sort of be swinging that way, that Vlad and Bo will be the Vernon and Carlos of this generation.
Boy, you go back and look at those teams, by the way. They had some really good teams that never came close to winning.
That's what I mean.
They win like 89 games.
88 games is a good season.
It's crazy.
This is what I mean. And then, but it's the Vernon and the Carlos without every 5 games having a Halliday.
That's correct. You can maybe, if you want to dream on Nate Pearson, I'll let you do that. But I am not in the business of dreaming on people I haven't really seen pitch.
He throws so fast. That's all you need, right?
He's a large adult man.
Nate Pearson will be an excellent setup man in like 4 years.
Okay.
I'm excited for him to be out of the bullpen throwing fucking gas.
Man, that's
you see a lot of starters that throw consistently 100 for sure.
I know.
Sure. That happens all the time.
Man, the Nate Pearson stock is not something he comes up in as a reliever. That's not the dream.
I'm not saying it's a dream. I'm just saying
he's the only one in that.
I know.
Where they're like, he could be a starter for us going forward.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, guys.
Oh, boy.
Nothing we do better than develop pitchers.
Jeez. I don't know. I'm starting to lose my faith there. And maybe we just need to see the team distant, right? We're going to come in
in February, we're going to be like, they're going to be great.
They're going to add some. They're going to sign this year's Matt Shoemaker, and we're going to go, I can see them.
I mean,
I can say Clay Buchholz's throwing 200 innings for the first time in 5 years.
We were at a bar together when they traded for Ledmus Diaz, and we were like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Ledmus Diaz, a crucial piece
we talked about that
Houston Astros
for hours that night.
I was also super high on the Randall Grichuk trade, but they didn't.
I was too.
They're not giving anything up, right? They gave up Dominic Leone.
I guess that I will say, to the Jays' credit, outside of maybe Marcus Stroman, and that's a capital M maybe. Mm-hmm. All these guys who are nothing and maybe not good. It's not like I guess Josh Donaldson, but. I guess the former MVP who's
other than their ace
the best
and their
MVP.
Other than Donaldson and Stroman, pretty good returns. Oh yeah, Jesus, it's not good.
No, it's not. That's the thing. Everything you can grasp at,
it's not good.
There's just that little.
It's not what you want.
It's not great. Speaking of not great.
Yes. Well, we're supposed to put this thing in here.
Oh yeah.
Well, we have more to get to. We have more sports to get to. But first, from the network that brought you The Stringer, a football pod, and of course, Sportsfeld, a new podcast is coming to the Space Monkey Media Network.
It's true.
Jake?
Oh, I'm doing this.
Well.
I guess I should. I've had half of a 6.1.
Yeah.
I'm kind of tipsy.
Pace yourself.
I'm not going to. Anyway, from the network that brought you The Stringer, a football pod, and us, Sportsfeld. We are set to launch a new podcast that is close to my heart, close to Zubes' heart, but specifically close to my heart. It is called Resting on Pretty. It is a podcast about America's Next Top Model.
Basically the same show as us.
Yeah. Same subject matters, everything. Hosted by our very good friend, Aaron Hooper Macedo, and Zubes' very good friend, and my future wife, Cassie Lee Clancy.
I'm good friends with Aaron, too.
I said our good friend.
Okay.
I said ours.
Sorry.
This is the best promo ever. It is a weekly podcast hosted by two failed models who just so happen to be the perfect hosts for an episode-by-episode breakdown of America's Next Top Model. Travel back in time to 2003 and experience all the America's Next Top Model goodness with show recaps, Where Are They Nows, guest hosts, and season recaps. Head over to your podcast provider today and subscribe.
So there you go. And they've been working their asses off.
They have. The work they put into this show is so much more than we do.
And if anybody's wondering what ever became of our old microphone
That's right.
that we
Yeti.
recorded all the shitty Sportsfeld on, it's now the Resting on Pretty podcast.
I wonder what it sounds like when they have like an actual audio producer working with it. Probably better.
It's a great question.
Yeah, I see when Cassie watches the episodes, she has like a
Notebook.
and she's making
Researching.
fucking, like so many notes. Oh my god.
That's one way to do it.
That means if you'd like to listen to a better show than Sportsfeld, may I suggest Resting on Pretty?
I hope they bring in Does This Freak You Out? Because it's a winner.
It is. It's gonna be a good show. I heard them record their promo episode the other day. It's gonna be great.
Okay. That's enough fun. We have to get into this stupid fucking story about something really dumb that Auston Matthews did that I am disappointed to read about. And I'm not surprised that there is a large section of people who are hockey fans that think this is hilarious.
Of course. Here's the thing with hockey fans. They're just as bad as everyone else.
Auston was
If not
charged
worse.
in May with disorderly conduct. He and a group of his friends. Yes.
Sorry, just before we continue, this
Please.
is my question.
Yes.
Did we know that he was charged with something before this came out?
Came out about yesterday afternoon when I got into work around 3 was my first.
But we didn't know he was charged in. Okay, that was my question.
Nope. Maple Leafs did
Well, yeah.
in May.
Yeah.
Had all summer. Waited. And now have no comment.
Well, you don't want to distract from the contract talk to Mitch Marner.
Yeah. Mitch Marner would ask for the same charges. Am I right, folks?
Nah, just slightly less.
Anyway, jokes aside, Austin and his drunken friends surrounded a woman in a car and tried to open the doors as she did paperwork. She's a security
To
guard.
quote, see how she would react because they thought it'd be funny.
Brilliant stuff. And then, when confronted about it, he dropped his pants and walked away while holding his ass. And I understand that there are a group of people that will look at the part of him grabbing his ass with his pants down and laugh, but do not approach women in cars. Full stop.
Or at not even
Ever.
do not approach them. Like
2 a.m.
Yes, do not approach them. But especially don't approach them under the guise of let's see what her reaction is when we freak her out, because it'll be fun. You fucking stupid boys.
Idiots.
Fuck. Ugh.
Group of drunken assholes. Listen, and here's the thing, right? We talked about this in the green room, and here's the problem with I think not. I know this is a problem with society, but obviously,
I'm just gonna rant against cancel culture now.
a little bit. Well, I condemn this action, right? Understandably, I say this is a dumb thing to do. No excuses. Austin shouldn't do it. 100%. But also, there is sort of this instinct now that nothing exists in the middle. Everything is black or white. Austin is either completely canceled or he's an angel.
Sure.
There is a spectrum here. It's a really dumb thing to do. This is an extremely, extremely big problem that women have every day of their lives. They are constantly in fear of like psycho men doing crazy things. She doesn't know he's Auston Matthews.
Not
and
even
just there for a
psycho
laugh.
men.
Yeah.
Just anybody.
Right. That's exactly right. It's not a psycho man. It's a normal guy.
Just being a shithead.
Just being a needless shithead. He's also a 22-year-old who's drunk.
Sure, but that's not an excuse.
100%. 100%. It's just like the context of like, this shit happens all
I did
the time.
stupid shit when I was 22 that I feel
Right.
bad about. And
Stupid
it's like,
asshole,
you're a
22
stupid
year
asshole.
olds do dumb shit all the time.
Yeah.
And he is one of those people. So no excuse there. But also,
I'm going to say
it exists on a scale.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to do a yes, but.
Yes, but.
Yes, but. Yes.
Yes,
it exists.
Yeah.
Yes, he's not Antonio Brown.
I'm not like he should never play hockey again.
No.
That's like
but
that's basically.
is anybody?
There are people
Have you
that
seen-
are like.
Is that argument out there?
There are people that like are ready to like get Auston Matthews out of town, which is absurd.
That okay. Yes, but
he deserves punishment.
Yeah, he deserves punishment. I also think that the barometer shouldn't be, well, he didn't assault her. Like,
Sure,
that's not,
absolutely.
That's not better. I also think to your point about canceled or not, there's a spectrum, which I think is true. I think the more useful discussion around this is not fuck Auston Matthews.
Right.
It's, hey, maybe let's look at the fact that these drunk, dumb white boys thought that the funny thing to do would be to scare this woman.
Totally.
And what allows the sort of that part of it to be not the common thought, but maybe it is the common thought, and that's the fucking problem. Mm-hmm. But like that was their first instinct, and what that says about not to be like, oh, this is a society, but like, why is that drunk bro culture? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And why is that where it goes? To me, that's a more worthwhile discussion than fuck Auston Matthews. I agree. That being said, he is being charged with a crime, so he has to be punished because that's how it works.
That's right.
I don't think he should be fired from his job.
Right.
Because, I mean, if you comparing the real world to sports world is a folly anyway, because that's not how it works.
Yes.
If we're looking at, he absolutely should be punished. He should probably be suspended for a couple games.
Yeah.
He's been charged with a crime. He did something dumb. He should pay the price for that. Do I think he should be run out of town and canceled? No. Do I think he should answer for his literal crime and also
100%
create a discussion around why this was wrong from not just from a legal standpoint, but from just like a societal standpoint? Yes. Do I think it'll be that nuanced and interesting? Absolutely not. Because A, as you said, it's hockey, which is some of the worst fucking people in the world who are fans who think this is hilarious. And B, because that's not how athletes fucking work. I'd be shocked if he gets suspended at all.
We had former players actually come out and say that what Austin did was great.
What?
Brandon Pruss was like, good to see an old school captain getting drunk with the boys. That was literally like word for word his. Because guys don't get drunk anymore. They all just drink protein shakes. So this to hockey culture, this is a breath of fresh air, believe it or not.
Hockey players, really, the sober ones.
I know, but it exists. It exists.
I know it exists. This is my point. That's the problem.
Good point. Anyway,
I just
do you think this would, if you were in a position of power, would you say, well, Austin's not our captain now?
I have to skew my thinking because I don't care about that.
Right, I understand.
But yes, but I don't think they will.
Right. I am going to...
Should they?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to give...
Am I wondering if the reason he has been named a captain is because they've been sitting on this since May? Maybe.
It do make you think. I will say this much before we move on, because there's only so much we can say about how fucking dumb this was. And that we both are disappointed.
Yeah.
And that...
It's also disappointing, and like this is also a problem that I think...
I'm disappointed that any person, period, did this.
Yes, but I think there is a point to be made, specifically with Auston Matthews, that speaks to the larger point about deifying athletes and people we like.
Yes.
From every angle before this, Auston Matthews was, and I'm putting huge air quotes around this,
yes,
one of the good ones.
Right. Yes.
I'm not surprised.
We spent all summer looking at the mustache photos and laughing.
Exactly.
And that whole time,
his relationship with Patrick Marleau and how he was being taken on the wing, and how the fact that the young Leafs are so likable. I am not surprised he did this because I'm never surprised when someone does something like this anymore, especially if he's a hockey player, especially if he's an athlete, especially when he's 22. But I do think one of the many problems with hoisting these guys up as good ones, or like, not that they shouldn't be role models, they should be role models, but you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
And I think if it was someone not Austin, it wouldn't maybe disappoint as much.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, well, we shouldn't be disappointed that much because he's just a dumb fucking athlete. Or not even an athlete. He's a dumb fucking guy. Right. And guys are fucking dumb. Case
in point. Well said. I will say this to your very well-founded doubt that anything will come of this of any value. I was impressed with the way that they handled the Morgan Riley thing. Mm-hmm. So I am going to give them the opportunity today/tomorrow to turn this into something where Austin says something smart in public. But I am not holding my breath on that. I will say, I do think that Kyle Dubas, from what I have heard and seen, does seem to have the right ideas about these kinds of things.
I think this is a very good chance for him to prove that.
Yes.
But
Not holding my breath.
not holding my breath, but I have a lot more faith in it being handled correctly than when Lou Lamoriello was in charge. Put it that way.
Okay. Now, let's get to some really trivial shit. 'Cause that was serious. I think we are on the same page with that.
I think so.
Every year, ESPN ranks all the players in the NBA. And every year, I'm sure every fan base gets upset.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not just the Raptors fans. But we only see the Raptors fans. I'm not following Knicks fans out here.
I mean, there's only so much misery we can take.
And as you said, we, even looking at this, lined it up and said, who cares? And then as soon as I said Kyle Lowry is 39th, things changed.
I got mad.
Kyle Lowry is 39th. Fred VanVleet, that is NBA Finals vote getter Fred VanVleet to you and me, 88th. Marc Gasol, 61st. Pascal Siakam, 22nd. What a world! Pascal Siakam's a top 25.
22nd.
What a world. Anyway,
Gives me hope.
Kyle Lowry, 39th.
Drop from 31 is my... So when I got upset about Lowry being 39, I'm not really upset with his placement.
Yes.
The fact he dropped 8 spots after...
Technically, he was 21st in the ESPN last year, so he dropped 18 spots.
He just led the team to the championship. He hit all those clutch shots in Game 6.
He is 34.
Chris Paul is 31st. Are you telling me that Chris Paul is 8 spots better than Kyle Lowry right now?
Touche. That I can't argue.
Obvious, and also I acknowledge that I just said he's 8 spots better, which is a very scientific measure. And
Yes. Here's something that I took a little umbrage with. Here's the blurb about Kyle Lowry. He is oddly shaped. He'll never be seen as the quickest or most athletic player on the court, and yet, despite all that, he constantly finds himself making winning plays. Here's the thing. 6'1" with a big ass is not an odd shape. 7 feet tall is an odd shape.
Yeah.
Marc Gasol was oddly shaped.
Yes.
Kawhi Leonard's oddly shaped.
Kawhi Leonard is... Look at his fucking hands. LeBron James is oddly shaped.
Somebody built like me is not oddly shaped. That's a normal, a human adult shape.
If anything,
don't body
he's
shame.
a normal human adult, and then he fucking kicks ass on the basketball court. That's amazing.
It is nice of them to say that he always makes winning plays, but
yeah,
I took umbrage with
I think that's fair.
Oddly shaped.
They haven't released the top 10 yet. I'm curious to see where Kawhi lands.
There's no way he's lower than second.
Agreed. I assume Giannis is number 1.
Got to be something like that.
Giannis, Harden, Kawhi, I assume, are the top 3.
Yeah.
If I had to wager. I'm curious as to where LeBron lands in that top 10.
Got to be top 5.
That's the question. Where is he valued right now? Where's Anthony Davis valued right now? The thing I found interesting...
Lay it on me.
Is specifically to the fact that we're not yelling about it, because we've been yelling about it for 4 fucking years, is DeMar DeRozan, ranked 46th.
Wow. DeMar DeRozan, 7 spots worse than Kyle Lowry?
And dropped from 39.
It's crazy because
no, dropped from 31, I think.
Because DeMar was the one that we were supposed to yell about every year. Remember?
Which we did.
It was always DeMar.
That's what
it was DeMar is better than Chris Middleton. Get your head out of your ass.
And like I understand that DeMar dropped from 39 to 46. I understand that he's not on the team anymore.
Oh, and now Kyle's 39th.
No, that's nice. It's best buds.
Together forever.
I understand that he's not on the team anymore, so like why should we be yelling about it? But it's just funny to me how
it's fun to yell.
And it's funny to me how we yelled about this for fucking years. People got so mad about DeMar's ranking, and then all of a sudden it's like, he's not here, so who cares?
I do find it funny
also,
that
DeMar is ranked ahead of Klay Thompson, and Kyle Lowry is 10 spots ahead of Klay Thompson, so maybe we shouldn't be that mad.
Klay Thompson's not playing this year, though, really.
Still, if we're ranking players in the NBA, Klay Thompson's obviously better than both those guys.
I love Klay. I wish I could hate Klay, but I just can't.
I definitely hate Curry more than I hate Klay.
Klay just wants to smoke weed and shoot threes.
Right?
Is that so hard?
And get paid, and he stayed in town. He seems like that.
I respect Klay's thing where he's like, I'm going to be good enough at this that I don't really have to do other stuff.
Yeah, it's like Terrence Ross, but better.
I can shoot threes and I can defend. I don't really feel the need to dribble ever.
Yeah.
Not part of my life.
Well, if I can just catch off the dribble and shoot, why
dribble?
Why bother?
Other guys
when he does it, he tears his ACL.
Yeah. Ouch.
Although his whole thing about like if I hadn't got hurt, we would have won. Fuck you, Klay.
I will say
you should have won the other games that you were playing in. Then how about that? How about win the games you were playing in? Maybe then you would have won.
Tell him. What's he gonna say though? What's he gonna say? Like, oh, even if I was healthy, we'd have lost. We suck.
No, fuck that. Fuck the Warriors and their whole Bucks and one. So you lost. You fucking lost.
Jake's back, baby.
Your dynasty is over and was ended by the Toronto Raptors, and you have to live with that for the rest of your lives.
Reigning, defending NBA champion Toronto Raptors. I think it's funny just on this.
I'm going in on Alex Wong's thing of we should act like we were a championship team and just be arrogant and shitty all year.
Well,
I'm into that.
Why not, right?
Probably only get to do it once.
I do find it funny that, like, I feel like during the playoff run and right after the championship, there was, like, this air of, like, oh, all that shit that used to bother us isn't going to bother us anymore. It's like, nope. It lasted like a week and a half. Immediately, of course, all this shit bothers us.
Well, I've been wanting this.
Now it's a different kind of disrespect.
But I've been wanting this. Yes, there's that. But I'm wanting this all off season.
Mm-hmm.
If Kawhi had stayed,
I
wonder if that idea of that nothing's going to bother us anymore would still be around, because we would be locked in as a
title
favorite. And now we're back to being the forgotten about, stepped on Raptors to an even bigger extent, because they just won. I just read The Ringer had a piece last week on the 27 most intriguing players or storylines for the NBA season this year.
The first 15 are Celtics, I assume.
The Raptors were not mentioned. The Raptors were mentioned. Pascal was mentioned in a tangential way about rising stars, and Kawhi was mentioned because he left. And those were the only mention of the championship winning team. That is, I'm not trying to play the whole, like, we don't get respect from the media thing, but, like, they just won the fucking title.
We'll get into this a little later, but I need to say something now. I will plant this seed now, and we will watch this flower grow over the year. I'm starting to worry just a little bit about the Pascal hype.
Fuck that. No.
Just a little
You know
bit.
why I'm not?
Okay.
Marc Gasol.
Okay.
He's playing beside him. He's going to protect him. He's going to keep him in check.
What if Marc Gasol gets traded?
He won't. Because you know why? You don't trade one of your best players on a 3 seed.
I'm just starting to, like... And listen, I read as much Blake as I possibly can because it makes me feel good and it makes me feel reassured. And he has told us that a top 20 is the floor. I need to see it, I guess. I need to see it. Pull it up. What do you got? You got something.
The Raptors went 17-5 without Kawhi last year.
I understand that. We'll see if they go 17-5 this year at any point.
They're the 3 seed. Okay. Maybe a 2.
Listen, I hope that's right.
They're not. I don't think they're going to win the title.
It's not that I think Pascal was bad. That's all.
No. I get that. I also think you might have been hurt a little bit by Vlad.
Well, no. It's just like... It's not like... Yes, they went 17-5 without Kawhi this year, right? But it's not like that...
The only guy that didn't come back on that team is Danny Green. We have Matt Thomas, so it doesn't matter.
Right, but it's not like... Well, and Kawhi. It's not like...
No, I mean, the 17-5.
But it's not like in the playoffs that Kawhi and Pascal every single night were this unstoppable two-headed beast. Like, Pascal had nights where it was like, oh, we can't... Tonight is not a good night for Pascal.
That's true, but he also had nights where he put up 30 points in NBA Finals.
Right, but he's not at... But it's different this year. Like, oh, Pascal isn't with us tonight? Well, then we're losing.
Until we had Bradley Beal to trade in.
All right.
Have faith in Masai.
I know. I should.
And the Raptors are going to be good.
We got lots of time to talk about Raptors as the training camp kicks off this weekend.
Yeah.
They're headed to Quebec City. And we're going
to Japan.
Crazy.
That's cool.
Crazy. The home of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
I want to go to Japan.
Me too, really badly. Anyway, we could sit here and talk about the Raptors all day, but we have all year to do that. And I think that's enough sports for me.
Yeah.
Enough sports for you.
Let's get on to bullshit.
Let's get into the bullshit. We'll be right back with so much bullshit, like an hour's worth.
Yeah.
Right after this. And we are back. And while we were talking, Auston Matthews made a statement. Jake, go ahead.
Auston Matthews made a very nice apology to the Toronto Maple Leafs for distracting them
from the real victims here.
Very, very important preseason games. Talk for 35 seconds. It's a bad statement.
Not great.
It's bad. Apologize to the woman. Apologize to the woman. Apologize to anyone other than your fucking corporate interest hockey team. Anyone else. Anyone else. Specifically the woman you wronged.
I mean, yeah.
Not even anyone else. Yes.
I can think of exactly one person.
Yeah, exactly one. Here's the thing about... I'm going to try and keep this quick, but I'm 6.1% in and haven't eaten anything.
Yeah.
The thing around this, the whole fucking cancel culture idea, which is a whole other debate that's fucking stupid that I don't want to get into. But so many people who do wrong, which is all of us at some point, just fucking apologize. Like, it doesn't have to be this controversial statement and hemming and hawing and saying how either you've been wronged or someone else, or like how it's affected. Just fucking apologize. No one is perfect. People mess up. People do stupid shit. Men do stupid shit. Like, yes, to your point about the spectrum, I'm not referring to like rapists, but like, just fucking apologize. If you have the ability to be in public and be criticized that you have to make a public statement about, apologize to the person you've wronged. And then we can talk about the next steps. Like, yeah, I get it. It's his job. He has to apologize to the team for distraction. That's the script. I understand that. I understand there's legal things in that admitting guilt creates a legal problem for him because it's in the... I understand that. But like, god damn, make a better statement. Like, come on, man. Fuck. Anyway.
Okay. I think you're absolutely right. All right. So.
Bullshit.
Song of the week, match of the week. Does it freak you out? Jake, song of the week.
Song of the week is a song called The Fox in Motion by a band called Hop Along. I have been nostalgic this week for when music festivals existed in the city of Toronto. Specifically, the Toronto Urban Roots Festival, which was the fucking best. It was at Fort York. They had a really cool thing where the bands that played, that weren't the headliners, that were like the midday bands, at night would play club shows throughout the city. So if you liked them, you could go pay $20 and go to the Horseshoe Release Palace, see the band play a longer set, get to know where it was great. I once saw Hop Along without knowing who they were, really. They opened for Desaparecidos, who were Conor Oberst's punk band. Mm-hmm. And I remember leaving the Hop Along set being like, that was fucking amazing. Their singer is one of the best voices in rock and roll. She's amazing. So yeah, check out Hop Along. Hop Along kick ass.
Right on. Match of the week this week is from 1994. I'm throwing it way back.
Wow.
In honor of Jushin Thunder Liger, sort of going crazy this week.
Sorry, say that again.
Jushin Thunder Liger, one of the greatest cruiserweights of all time. He's gone crazy this week. He's retiring soon, and he's currently feuding with Minoru Suzuki, and his mask is off, and he looks nuts, and he's using poison mist. I take it back to 1994, him against Tiger Mask 3 at the Tokyo Dome, the January 4th, 1994 show. It is two legends. Awesome match. Tiger Mask, his entrance is he enters on a giant crane, like those extended cranes. A stunt double version of him does a swan dive into a stunt mat, like a mat,
right,
as his entrance, and then he walks up the ramp. Just an awesome match, hard hitting match for mask versus mask. Tiger Mask retires after this. Actually, 14 and a half minutes of pure 1994 Japanese cruiserweight action. It's as good as it gets for two legends of the sport. Tiger Mask versus Jushin Thunder Liger from Tokyo Dome, 1994.
I love it.
Jake, I believe it's your turn.
It is.
Here's the question.
So here we go. We're a sports show.
We are.
We like numbers.
We do.
And statistics and shit.
I don't like where this is going.
Here's a statistic for you. Due to pregnancy.
Oh, boy.
The average number of skeletons
No.
in a human body is more than one. Does that freak you out?
That's really weird. That's a really weird way to put it. That's a really weird way to put it. And shout out to a friend of the show, Kevin. Who is
happy childbirth.
Happy being a father.
Way to make a son.
And he was too busy having his son born to give us a dumb question this week, which is too bad.
How dare.
That's a really gross way to word that.
It's true, though. It's factually correct.
It's a really gross way to say that, and I wish you hadn't said it that way. Yeah.
That freaks you out?
Yeah. It's gross. That's gross.
Does it make you feel...
That's a gross way to put it.
Does it make you less...
why say it so grossly?
Oh, well, because I'm trying to freak you out.
Gross.
Does it make you less weirded out or grossed out if I tell you that the number is not 2? Statistically, on average, it's about 1.1 just because of population numbers. Is that better?
Dudes.
Exactly. Is that better or worse than thinking that there's on average 2 skeletons.
I think 1.1 is even weirder. Because like 2, yeah, 1.1's weirder.
Yeah.
Because 2, like I get it, that's a woman and the baby.
Yeah.
But not every woman gets pregnant.
And not every person on the planet's a woman.
Maybe in utopia, am I right, fellas? No more men. I don't know. I don't even know what that is. There'd be no war, I'll tell you that much. We'd all be better off for it.
Yeah.
That's a weird way to put that. I wish you hadn't put it that way.
Well, that's the whole point of the segment. So the literal segment is, does this freak you out?
Yeah, well, it does. It truly, truly does. And with that being said, I feel like it's mailbag time.
I think so.
Good
and ready for a mailbag.
We did not go over what's going to be in the mailbag today.
No, so we should take a break, and then we will.
We're going to take a break, go over what's going to be in the mailbag, and then we will go over the mailbag, because that's the job that we do on the show after this. And we are back. We did a very quick rundown of what should be in the mailbag, and we figured it out.
Hooray.
Sean Woodley writes, what is the all-decade starting 5 of Toronto athletes? We are going for every sport, 5 athletes.
All decades, so that's 2010 to now.
Yes, I think it's going to be... Here's the thing for me. Okay, it's... Batista's obvious.
Yep.
I think Lowry and DeMar.
And DeMar?
Why not? Only 1 year of not...
DeMar over Kawhi?
Yes. All decade.
Won a title.
Right. 1 year versus 9 years. 8 years.
One title versus no titles.
Listen, DeMar's on mine.
Okay.
Mine's going to be 2 Raptors, 2 Jays, and then Auston Matthews probably. I think it's Batista, Donaldson, DeMar, Kyle, Auston Matthews.
Okay, I think Kyle for sure.
Kyle is the great Raptor.
Kyle for sure. Jose,
100%.
unquestionably. I am torn on Donaldson versus Edwin.
Oh.
I think it's probably Donaldson.
Yeah.
He won the MVP.
It's I can see that argument. My instinct was immediately Donaldson. And that is the bane of Edwin Encarnacion's entire career. Is like he's
the second.
He's
the
destined to
other
be the
guy
guy that always gets forgotten.
Yeah.
But then it's 3 Blue Jays, right? That's the thing.
That's true. And although
I feel Donaldson has to be on there.
yeah, he won the MVP.
And
he had one of the best. He had arguably the best, second best season in franchise history.
That's the Kawhi argument too. But I think you look at it and like it's impossible to overstate now, years later, how much his arrival opened people's eyes to the Blue Jays. People were like, "Whoa!"
And his we talk a lot about Vlad's sense of the moment. I remember specifically.
Perfected it.
The final home game of the 2015 season was against the Tampa Bay Rays. It went. I can't remember if it went 10 or it was just the bottom of the ninth. But Donaldson hit a walk-off home run.
Yes.
I remember being in my house. I was living with Chris Lund at the time. And before the pitch was even thrown, we were both like, oh, well, he's hitting this out.
Awesome.
There was no debate. And he did, and it kicked ass.
Awesome.
It went so far. And they won. God, 2015 was fun.
Unbelievable.
I miss it so much.
Anyways, that's my 5.
Yeah, so
Batista, Donaldson, DeMar, Kyle.
I'm going Batista,
Auston
Donaldson.
Matthews.
Batista, Donaldson, Kyle. I'm going Kawhi.
Kawhi, Flocka, Leonard.
And I don't know if I want to put a leaf. They haven't fucking done. I'm going Sebastian Giovinco.
Ooh.
Won a title.
That's a very good ad.
He won a title.
Good
He
ad.
dominated the fucking league as
That's a great ad.
FC, and he won a title.
It's a great ad. You know, Leafs had back-to-back 100-point seasons for the first time in their franchise history.
Sure, but they win. Who gives a?
What did the Jays win?
Tampa Bay Lightning set the fucking record for points last year and didn't win anything.
The Jays didn't really win anything either.
Yeah, but it was so much more fun. They made it more than a round.
I'm just saying.
They won
One.
2 more rounds than Auston Matthews has won.
Right. And obviously I put 2 Blue Jays on mine, but like they won 2 best of 5s.
Sure. Leafs lost a bunch of best of
Like
7s.
they won 1 more playoff game than the Leafs each of those years.
Yeah. That's 2 more playoff games they won then.
Okay.
For measuring it.
Fair enough.
If you want to go by that metric, Sebastian Giovinco only won like 3 playoff games.
Right, but if you're going by your metric, then like Halliday didn't win anything ever for the Jays. It isn't great.
I guess.
That's all. That's all. But listen, it's subjective lists. Good pick. Jimiko's a great pick.
He won a title.
I'm tempted to put him on over one of the Blue Jays, but I'm not going to because it doesn't really mean the same to me.
That's fair.
What do we have here? What do we say? Celine Dion song?
Is that next?
Well, there's the...
This is a sloppy show. Fuck.
Will asks us, what is the best Celine Dion song?
So this is born...
We went over this on the weekend.
On Friday night, we got drunk and yelled about this for several hours.
Mm-hmm.
Our friend Josh was incorrect.
Couldn't have been more wrong.
Could not have been more wrong.
To Love You More is what he said, which is wrong.
Good song.
There were quote tweets that got more faves than the votes for that song.
Yeah, absolutely incorrect. I voted for That's the Way It Is originally, which I will stand by.
Okay.
And I think is fantastic, as we discussed and listened to. Josh isn't wrong that it sounds like a Backstreet Boys song.
Right.
But it sounds like one of the best Backstreet Boys, and it's better because it's Celine. So it's great. After listening to the evidence, it's hard to argue against Because You Love Me.
Yes.
It's really
Well,
hard to argue.
actually, it's not what I was going to say.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you going Heart Will Go On?
No, I was going to go with the other one that won that poll.
Because You Love Me.
No.
Right. You're thinking Power of Love, which is what Melissa suggested.
No, I'm thinking...
No, am I wrong? Am I wrong with the poll?
Because You Love Me came in second.
No, That's the Way It Is came in second, I think. This is a great segment as we scroll through our...
It's All Coming Back to Me won handily.
Sorry. You're right. I got them confused.
And...
After, as Melissa correctly pointed out, after we listened, she said, It's All Coming Back to Me took me on a journey.
Right. And here's the thing.
Correct.
Josh had a big yelling thing. This is the Josh show now. He had a big yelling thing about how That's the Way It Is. It's just a Backstreet Boys song.
Yes.
Right? Well, It's All Coming Back to Me is a Meatloaf song.
Yes.
Literally the same producer.
Yeah.
It's Meatloaf's producer. It's a Meatloaf song that he didn't give to Meatloaf.
Mark Simon?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I looked it up afterwards.
Wow.
Evidently, we're not the only people who spent their entire weekend thinking about Celine Dion.
I mean, Bow to Hell is fucking amazing, but that's not that's not the question.
But yes, It's All Coming Back to Me is her best performance.
Yeah. It's like I will say in our conversation on the weekend, we did not really touch on My Heart Will Go On.
Right. It was sort of a given. It's sort of the...
And like the fact that was recorded in like one take is insane.
Listen, it's a powerhouse, but it's a little
overdone.
It's the radio hit. It's
yeah.
Not that every other
No, but I know what you mean.
It never took me. The tin flute. It's not as good as
the vocal performance is insane, is amazing, but from the whole package, I think It's All Coming Back to Me is like that swell and that it's great.
And I think
Celine Dion is a treasure.
I think it's a little too close with Titanic. Obviously,
yeah,
it's hard to separate them.
Absolutely true. And also, as we discussed, the answer is actually Insensitive by Jane Arden.
Well, yeah.
That's
the GOAT.
Such a good song.
What's worse, Akamedo asks us, getting caught in a lie or having an 8 a.m. busy subway ride talk with someone you half know? I don't lie, so it's hard for me to... I've never lied in my life, so... the busy subway ride talk.
Definitely the biggest busy subway
as much as...
100%.
Yeah, we're adults. If someone catches you in a line, you go, yeah, I was lying.
Busy subway ride.
Got me.
It's that the awkward.
I'm incorrigible.
I don't even like doing the busy subway ride with people I know most of the time, to be honest. Just like I gotta make conversation now. It's tough.
I will say this. I have in my life been in that situation and was like, we both just want to ride quietly, right? The person was like, yeah.
I have seen people in switch cars.
Yeah.
Not from like
absolutely.
Not from like fear or disliking them, just from like I don't want to fucking have a conversation right now.
Yeah, I've had it where like I think it was like a coworker, and I was just like, we're both just going to work. We don't need to do this. I'll see you at work. And he's like, yeah.
That's amazing.
Because
I wish I had the balls to do that.
Well, because we operate on the fact that it's awkward for both people.
Yeah.
I'm not saving me, I'm saving us.
So okay, what about though if it's not even a coworker, like if it's something you haven't seen in like 10 years, but you're like, you were kind of acquaintances, but
that's the worst.
Because you can't be like, well, I'm not going to talk to you now, because then you're an asshole.
Yeah. So sometimes I get off a stop early just to...
I've done that. I've definitely done that before.
Scumbags. What can you do? What can you do, man?
It's hard being...
I don't want to talk for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Sue me. Adam Wagner asks, which Toronto music venue offers the best vantage points for short people?
I assume if we're talking theater-esque venues that are built for that, like a Massey Hall or a Sony Center, if we're talking just like floor venues, the answer is Lee's Palace because it has little elevations and it's small enough that you can see everything, but as long as you stand in the elevation, you're all good.
I'm guessing Adam's short.
Or he saw my tweets this weekend about not being able to see anything.
Okay.
I hope Adam's short because we need more of us.
James Nielsen asks, what number do you wear when you play sports?
I've classically been 8. That was my lucky number. Is my lucky number.
8.
I now wear 27 because that was the shirt that was available.
Nice. That's the real answer. I usually wear 2.
2's good.
Looks like a Z.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think my dad wore 2 as well. 2 or 92 or 11.
That's a 2.
Correct.
I got it.
2 ones. You got to find a way to do something like that. Brian asks, when does spoopy season officially start? I guess that's supposed to be a cute way to write spooky season.
Yeah. No, Cassie told me this once.
Okay.
Spoopy is a thing. It's a combination of something and spooky, and I forget what it is.
Stupid?
Maybe. Anyway, the answer is, for me, it's 365 days a year because
Right.
I live with and I'm marrying Cassie.
You live in spoopy house.
I do live in Spoopy House. Now I'm going to look up Spoopy and see what it means because I forget.
Why is this
Scary and funny is what it means.
October? The answer is October, right? I don't know.
And also year round.
I don't have the same joy of spoopy.
No, I don't really like
Doesn't bring much.
like Halloween.
Doesn't bring much to me. Yeah, and Halloween's the day after my birthday, so I could care less about Halloween.
Right, yeah.
No, you did that already. Kelly Toomey, and this is the one that I think is going to be.
There's always one.
There's always one. I think this is the one. It's sort of I would say it's almost a spin-off of Does This Freak You Out, frankly. Do you ever think about how weird it is that we all assume aliens look a certain way and we all just accept it? You sort of touched on this last week. By the way, before we go any further, last week I talked about the leaked alien videos, right? Somehow, the two of us sat in this room talking about those videos without mentioning that Tom DeLonge is the one that leaked them. Of all the podcasts in the world,
truly
point that out. Here we go.
Let's just think about the world that we would live in if these videos that were released turn out to be, or seemingly are, real and accurate, and it's like the first documented proof of extraterrestrials, and it was found by Tom DeLonge.
If only we had listened to Tom DeLonge.
He wrote a song on Enema of the State 20 years ago, literally titled Aliens Exist.
He is a prophet.
And then he turned into a bunch of dick jokes on their live album. But still.
What can you do?
But still. We should have listened to Tom DeLonge.
He contains multitudes.
He does. His new music video was really problematic and bad, though. And Angels and Airwaves are not good. But, that being said, what if, like in all the movies, it's always like scientist guy or army guy.
Right.
It's fucking Blink 182, I Was Naked dick joke guy. One of our albums named after cum. Like, he discovered aliens. Dude Ranch.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anyway,
That's crazy.
The question at hand. Do you ever think about how weird it is that we all accept aliens look a certain way and all just accept it?
Yes,
I will say this.
We're wrong.
See what? Now why? Why are we wrong?
Because they're aliens. The whole concept is beyond our understanding. Why? It's so humanly arrogant to assume that other intelligent life has human characteristics.
I will say this. These depictions they're not coming out of thin air, right? The depictions are based on people who claim to have seen the aliens. Am I wrong?
I don't know. I don't know what the first depiction was. Like,
well, it's like people that were
the fucking little gray men are from like 1940. Yeah, I guess it's
right. People that were quote unquote abducted.
So we're trusting the farmers in the middle of fucking Kentucky who are quote unquote abducted.
Who else? What else do we have? What other?
Nothing. But
so that's all we have to go on.
No, I understand.
People aren't. That's just my point. Is like
I understand why. I'm just saying they're wrong.
People aren't making. Well, it's much
arrogant. It's arrogant to us.
I would say it is as much a leap of faith to say that they are definitively wrong than it is to say that they are definitively right.
I suppose
it is.
I just think it's
you have as much evidence that they're wrong as you do they're right.
I just think it's to assume that they have human characteristics.
I don't think a little gray man is a human characteristic.
Sure it is. It's arms, legs, head, body, torso. It's the same proportions. It's the same idea.
Big old head. Big old head. If any aliens are listening, we'll have you on as a guest.
Oh man, imagine.
I wouldn't be able to handle it.
No,
I can joke about that. I would.
No.
There's no chance I would be able to handle
I'd be
that. I would cry.
Terrified.
I would cry tears.
Shitting my pants, terrified.
Yeah. So, but aliens, still allowed to come on.
No, listen to the show. Don't. Oh, maybe we get a good listener boob. Anyway, I do think it's weird that we assume that they're recognizable. Like the whole idea of the word alien means foreign and unrecognizable. Mm-hmm. That's the whole idea behind it. Like even something like the Independence Day aliens or the alien aliens, which are clearly not human, but are like we are able to categorize that as like head, body, legs, arms.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe they're just like fucking. I feel like there'll be something outside of our understanding. So I was going to say there'll be like blobs and amoebas, but we understand what those are.
Okay.
So I just feel like they're going to be something new. And if they're not, and they just look like our buddy Dave, then won't you be kind of disappointed?
Things other than humans have heads and arms and legs. It's not just humans that have those.
I guess. I just mean that it'll be something outside of our understanding, I should say.
Like an octopus.
I mean, that has an arm.
Well, yeah. Everything has a head and an arm.
But maybe aliens don't.
I don't know what you're describing then.
Exactly. That's my point. We don't know. That's my exact point.
I can't.
Wouldn't you be, if they look like the little gray men or just like us, wouldn't you be disappointed?
I'd be horrified no matter what they look like. They could look exact. I think there's also an argument to be made that perhaps they are, knowing that they are visiting Earth, doing their best to appear as if they could.
Yeah, I see that. That'll buy.
See, we're going.
I'll buy the little gray man idea. Was like they will understand this.
I'm ready to take sports completely out of this show. Frankly,
Alien Feld.
I love. It scares me, and just like the whales, it scares me. And
what if it turns out the aliens are whales?
Wouldn't shock me. Makes more sense than them being fucking mammals. I'll tell you that much.
Aliens are whales.
Both. I don't know. Anything in the ocean could be an alien. You'd never know.
Oh, absolutely true.
It crash lands, and they go, "Oh, we can live down here."
So here's the next alien.
Let's do it, baby.
Have they been here the whole time?
Ancient technology.
I'm asking. Yeah.
Chariots of the gods.
Right.
There's a lot of drawings where it's like, well, then a guy came out of the sky and gave us the technology, and we're like,
yeah,
probably God? Question mark.
Right.
Makes you think.
Maybe this isn't the first time they visited.
Oh, certainly not. Certainly. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I thought this might open the floodgates.
Here we go. Well, it's just as it's arrogant, as you say, to assume that they look a certain way or they act a certain way. It's absurd to think that they're so far ahead of us technologically, right?
Yes.
But they were also like, they figured out how to get to Earth 60 years ago? It doesn't make any sense.
It's true. Okay, that's us.
Like, the 40s is the time to show up at Earth. That's a good
point.
Earth's in a good spot. Let's jump in.
The idea that they exist at all and have visited Earth presupposes that they are technologically advanced. They've mastered interstellar travel. Correct?
Yes, almost definitely.
If they have visited at all, that is undisputably true.
100%.
Unless they're from like...
No, they wouldn't have gotten here by...
even if they're from Venus, that's further than we can go.
They wouldn't have gotten here by accident. They'd be here intentionally to come to this planet to see what
Therefore, they are much more advanced than us, and then, yes, I agree.
Right. To think, they're so advanced to us, and then they were watching us, and they were like, 1944, let's go.
Now that they have cameras and televisions.
Yeah. Earth's in a great spot. Let's jump down there. World War II's going on. Let's get involved.
Yeah.
It's much more likely that they came when we didn't have anything.
And no way to document it. Because if
cave paintings?
Because if they came, they would know about documentation. They would know
100%.
about historical record.
It almost seems obvious.
It does, in a way.
There are a lot of...
As we discussed a few weeks ago, the universe is so fucking old.
Vast, yeah.
And not even vast. It's just so old.
And fake.
It's a studio. It's
Space
simulation.
Space is fake.
But if we're talking about how old everything is, it's like, 65 billion years?
Probably.
That's enough time for fucking aliens to show up at some point.
And bounce.
And mounts. Like, humanity, 10,000 BC was like when we became like people, almost, kind of.
Okay.
That's so long ago that they could have just shown up and left and no one would know. Or no one would be able to describe it. It's like, cave paintings, God, perfect.
Right. I couldn't agree more.
I fully am on board with the God is an alien take.
Ooh.
I don't know if it's true. I mean, it's probably not. But
right.
am on board with it.
Okay. The idea of God as as a creator of life on Earth.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we're all in a simulation anyway, so it doesn't matter.
And that makes as much sense as anything else.
Imagine one day there's sorry, simulation's over.
I mean, what's the point of imagining it? I would just be over.
Not if our consciousnesses are in the place where they're simulating. and then we wake up and we're like, oh, it's actually like a different year than we thought.
Huh.
I think with this a lot.
I don't know how I'd handle that. Probably not well.
No one would handle it well. They would have to have like a system to coax.
You need to be in like pods or whatever.
The thing is, if you were running the simulation, you would know how broken our brains are.
Right.
Or how, not broken, how like little we can process.
Mm-hmm.
So they would have to have a system. Unless they're just willing for us to all go crazy. Which.
I mean, if they already have us in the simulation,
yeah.
doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
That's food for thought.
Isn't it? That's not to say you and I specifically are in the simulation. It's just the idea of humanity is in the simulation. So like we have been birthed as we recognize it to be by our parents.
Right.
Not birthed by the simulation. See what I'm saying?
I do.
Food for thought.
Yeah.
I'm not even stoned.
Me either. I find this the thing I find funny, and we're gonna wrap this up because we could do this. There's only so much time we can have the episode. People are listening, like, okay,
Wrap.
You don't know the answers. I always find this sort of funny. There's two little things here. One is like, let's go along hypothetically and say aliens exist. Aliens are working with our government. Aliens are. Let's just hypothetically, right? Let's just go along with that for a minute.
Okay, sure.
Say they've been working with the government for as long as we've been alive.
Okay.
They're secretly pulling the strings. Even if that came out, newsflash, not shit you can do about it. All that would happen is they would tell you that's the way it is, and you go, oh.
That explains a lot.
Uh-oh. Your regular day-to-day life would not change. And the second thing that I find hilarious is this idea, like, say we are living in a simulation, right?
Yeah.
I love that the simulation, part of it is like, oh yeah, and we'll do a podcast. Like, I think that's so funny that part of the simulation is like people doing fucking really stupid memes and podcasts. I think that's so fucking funny. But like that's part of the simulation's like, yep.
What makes you understand human nature better than Vine?
Right. 100%. Anyway, that's my... I just want to do an alien show. I don't even care about sports, frankly. I do enough sports podcasts. I don't give a shit. Yeah, you know what?
Oh, that's the end of Sportsfeld.
We've established
alien show now.
We've established most of the fucking
To the
athletes
Stars,
are
the
shitheads.
podcast.
To the Starsfeld. I don't know. This is a loose one. Anybody who listens to this whole show, I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, this has been an episode that we recorded.
And we are going to close it out the only way we know how to close it out. And that is with the question. Not, are we here for a reason? Not, are we in a simulation? Not, is space fake? Not, is God real? The question is, are we sad or not sad? We will address that after this. We are returned to the airwaves. It's back. The recording, that is. Starting next week, we have an announcement before we go any further. First and foremost, reminder that our brewery of the month this month is Left Field Brewery. We are drinking, past tense, drank a Big Train Zero IBU IBA. Is a juicy, hazy IPA, no bitterness. It's autumn, seasonal. It's at LCBOs and just hits the shelves.
It's fucking so good.
Starting this week.
It's delicious.
Jake was so happy to drink it.
Ballpark pairings, honey garlic wings, or empanadas.
Very cool that they have the recommended pairings on the side.
Wish that it was recommended for a shitty stadium like Skydome where you can actually get these things. So, it's delicious, though.
Take that. We have one more to sample. That'll be the next episode. But, once again, Left Field Brewery. Brewery of the month. If you want your favorite brewery featured on the show, and why wouldn't you want us to drink beer in front of you?
Yeah. Clearly, nothing goes wrong.
At the brewery on Twitter. At us in that conversation. And get us in touch with them. Do the producing for us. We beg you.
I mean, that's kind of what producers do.
That's true. And also, another announcement. Starting next week, we are refreshing our merch offering.
Yes.
The shirts with just our logo on them only take us so far. We have some fresh new designs. You'll be able to tell all your friends. Buy a t-shirt whether or not you were sad or not sad.
That's nice.
This is the merch launch. Once a month, we are Once a month, we are pairing. With a local artist to create limited run t-shirts. This is a new racket for us.
It's really cool.
For October, we collaborated with Casey Bannerman. We have a Bo Bichette inspired t-shirt that will launch available at the start of October, but is only on sale until October 31st. So all of October, we have a shirt coming out, and then it's gone. Forget about it.
Can't have it.
Can't have it. We sampled
Well,
shirt.
you can have it, but you have to buy it.
For sure. You can have it if you really want to. But
Oh no, I meant they can, but they have to get it in October.
yeah. You can buy it in October.
And also just like email us.
We're good at ad reads. This is great stuff. For October, Casey Bannerman, Bo Bichette inspired t-shirt all through October. Jump on that while you get the chance. Follow Casey at Casey Bannerman. Buy the shirt coming out in October. We saw the design. It's pretty cool. And we sampled t-shirt styles today, and we disagreed on which style we should use.
We did. And not style, just like I guess
actual
it's style.
t-shirt.
Like the literal material.
The literal t-shirt we should use. And a final reminder, while I'm doing reads, the Resting on Pretty podcast.
If you thought today's show was sloppy, you'll enjoy Resting on Pretty because they're better at this.
No matter what you think of this show, their show is better.
They're better.
100%. It's an America's Next Top Model podcast. Resting on Pretty.
Resting on Pretty.
Pretty exciting. Lots of exciting podcast news sort of bubbling under here.
Getting there.
Some stuff happening.
Yeah.
Keep your ears and eyes tuned. But, as we say, travel back to 2003 and experience all the America's Next Top Model goodness with show recaps, Where Are They Now's guest hosts, season recaps from two ladies who know their shit.
Yes, I'm very proud of them. They've been kicking ass doing this. It's going to be great.
And Josh, who was wrong about Celine Dion, is a producer.
Yeah, and he's good at that, but he's wrong with Celine Dion.
Dead wrong.
Let's be fair. Josh is a great audio producer, but like a lot of his takes,
Yeah. We know.
Yeah.
People that are watching the video can see us like knowingly nodding.
Yeah.
But he has the takes, respectfully.
He does. That's true.
Holy cow. Let's bring this motherfucker into the garage because holy boys. I'll say this to anybody that is just like, if this is us in this room, this new podcast is their first exposure to Sportsfeld. This is what the show used to be.
Yeah.
Like
this is
all
very
the time.
2015, 2016 Sportsfeld.
Boy, oh boy.
It just sounds better.
I apologize for my actions over the last hour and a half. I have no idea what I said or what I did. I don't even no idea. Not well.
Now it's old school sports folks. You're apologizing for the show before it's over.
This is what the Maple Leafs didn't do. I'm going to get ahead of this before I get in trouble and say I probably fucked up at some point in the last hour and a half.
It's all right. We'll get really old. We'll finish and I'll go, well, that was bad. That's what I used to do every time.
Yeah, that's right. Take the headphones off. Woof.
every show.
Let's not put that out. I said too much. I'm canceled, sis. That's tea. Okie dokie. Okay. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
All right.
Thank God it's on video now so people can see us.
Thank God we have someone who can edit.
Thank God I have headphones on.
Someone.
My brain leaks out of my ears.
Dylan, cut this to shreds.
Goodness gracious. And once again, the intern in the box is just like, what have I signed up for? What is this? What in the fucking world? These guys have a podcast? Like, what is going on?
It's good. We're showing the youth.
This is it, baby.
We can do it.
This is it. Literally anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Evidently.
Apparently.
Jake, are you sad or not sad?
I am sad.
Oh.
And I think it kind of goes along with the theme of the day. Not us
being bad at podcasts.
Not us being bad at our jobs.
I'm sad because this podcast
I'm sad because we suck ass. No, I feel like this happens a lot recently with not just me, and also I'm, as usual, putting the little acknowledging my privilege sticker at the front of this.
That should run across the bottom of the screen.
It should at all times. Yeah, I guess down here. I'm just having one of those weeks where like, man, everything's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
The world's just so bad, and like I know there's things hopeful and there's people fighting, and it's great, and I've said this before, and I respect all of them, especially because I'm not doing shit. But just had one of those days yesterday where just like I had to just like turn off Twitter.
Yeah,
because everything's so bad, and like gonna get worse, and everything's so frustrating. On the way here, I was reading a very, very good article on Deadspin taking down Malcolm Gladwell, who has been sort of defending Joe Paterno in the Penn State Jerry Sandusky case for some fucking reason. And like, it's not even clear in Gladwell's writing why he's doing this other than just be like, well, have you thought of this? And I was just reading on the way here being like, man, like...
That's sort of Gladwell's whole thing, though.
It is, but like, just shut the fuck up.
Right.
Like, why bother? Like, you don't... No one was like, you know what I could use? A defense of the guys who covered up pedophilia for a bunch of years. Like, no one's been like, this is the argument you need. There's just too many. It's not even that things are bad. Things are bad. But my thing that I'm sort of annoyed by this week, and always, but like especially this week, I don't know why. Just shut the fuck up.
Is it because the Prime Minister did brown face?
I mean, that's not great either, but it's also the
I wish that hadn't happened.
Like the surrounding takes, like, on around that, and it just, Not everything needs to have an argument. Like, some things are just bad.
Yeah.
Like, you fucked up. It's bad.
Fair enough.
Just shut the fuck up. Malcolm, you don't need to defend Joe Paterno. No one is clamoring for that. Why? Shut up.
Okay.
But The Good Place is back tomorrow, so I guess that's fun.
There you go.
I like that show a lot. Oh, nice score alert. Matthews is Mitt's regret and statement.
Okay. That to me means that we can have a couple more sentences and then just hit the old STOP button on this thing. I guess I'm not sad. I don't know. I'm feeling like you. I feel like it's a little bit much this last week.
I mean, every week's a bit much, but yes.
But especially so I guess it's a sad. I don't know.
Yeah.
Really wish the
Trudeau thing really
Prime Minister had
really hit you, didn't it?
Well,
as it should, but like.
And I don't want this to be attached to like Canadian superiority complex. That's not what this is. But like, really don't want to have to say shit like, wish our leader hadn't done that stupid racist bullshit.
And then, as we said on Friday, not only say I wish our leader hadn't done that super racist bullshit, and then be like, but I hope he wins the election.
He's the lesser of the evils. And like,
fuck.
we again, I think it's bullshit. Even before this, it's bullshit. And the Harper years sort of got us to this point where like, oh, we need that breath of fresh air, liberal leadership. Like that's absurd. It's absurd.
If only there were a third option.
Yeah, but like many people are not going to do that.
No.
Many.
Run a very like.
Bothers
I
me.
am a card-carrying member of the NDP. They haven't done anything to make me be like, other than not being the other two.
Yeah.
It hasn't been like an inspiring.
It's a bit uninspiring week in that way.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's more my point. It's just like everything's so.
What's the point in believing in any of it, right?
Yeah, like that being said, like Netanyahu might be losing. Trump, they're opening the fucking impeachment thing, won't do anything. But Boris Johnson, Supreme Court found that he was unlawful. Like there are some consequences, which I said like 3 weeks ago was a nice thing to see. But
yeah, and I agree, and not to get too fatalistic, but also like people that we knew were shitty. People being like, "Oh, they're shitty." It's just like, yeah, it's good, but like, I'm tired.
Yeah, and we're not even doing anything.
Right.
Like, imagine how tired the people who are actually fighting for good are.
For sure, how exhausting. And like while we're here, like
the attacks on
16. Thank God for the teens.
Yeah, weirdly, as much as I'm terrified of teens, they are going to save us all.
Well, they're going to save themselves, and we'll be lucky.
We'll be there for a couple of years.
I'm starting to like, as we age into our mid-30s, or I do, you're in your late 30s. I'm starting to like recognize that like our generation really didn't stand for anything ever.
That's not true. We had the Rock Against Bush albums.
Yeah, it was SARS Fest. I just feel like we're like, yeah, we're getting by. We did a strike against I want to say Mike Harris.
Boomers really fucked us up.
Right, but that's our attitude. Boomers fucked us up. Shrug.
They did though.
Right, but
we also
did nothing about it.
Yeah.
We were just like, oh, the boomers really fucked us. And then I was like, well.
And now the teens are like, hey, everything's so fucking bad.
The teens are like, hey, guys are getting fucked by the boomers. You didn't do anything about that.
Now we're getting fucked because you didn't do anything.
We're fucked by you because you're so lazy. And yeah, we are.
Yeah, for sure.
Because being lazy is so easy.
Especially when you're straight and white.
Ugh. Easy.
We've never had to fight for anything. It's sad.
No. I had to fight for slightly better work. Oh, boy.
We're allowed to do this show.
Somehow. I don't know. After today, maybe not. Perhaps not. Perhaps not. Let's go back to the part where we were talking about sports. I'm flipping it back. Let's go just sports. Because this shit is... I'm drained. Yeah. So, did I say sad?
Yeah, I guess.
Disenfranchised.
I like that. Disenfranchised or not disenfranchised.
Just like... We're going to have a Canadian election, and it's either going to be one shitty...
Bad or, it's going to be bad or worse. Is really
yeah, and just like...
We love...
Just sucks.
There's that great tweet about how centrism is just like the idea that nothing can ever get any better.
Right.
And that's Canada.
Yeah, and, to go back to, like, you had a great point there about, I read about David J. Roth writing about Donald Trump, right? And it's sort of like, yes, it's funny. And then you read it enough times, you're like, this is fucking awful.
His writing is funny.
It does a great job when it's funny writing, but then after you read like 10 of them, you're like, this is just going to keep happening. And like,
I saw someone tweet yesterday that no matter how Trump exits the White House, the country that he has built will still exist.
yeah.
And that's horrifying.
All right, let's get the hell out of the booth.
Yeah,
This is fucking
cut
ridiculous.
this whole fucking thing.
Anyway, as we said, brewery of the week or the month, pardon me, is Left Field Brewery. The Zero IBU IPA Big Train is available autumn seasonal, hitting the shelves this week. The merch launch starts in October. Casey Bannerman with a new Bo Bichette inspired shirt that we will be, I'm sure, doing plenty of promo for.
Yeah. It looks great.
The Wrestling on Pretty podcast is coming your way. Head over to your podcast provider today and subscribe for a podcast that I can only assume stays on the rails much better than this one because we're throwing it back. Anyway, thank you to Clay and Sean and especially Dylan for doing actual work.
Yeah, sorry for all the work you're going to have to do on this one, Dylan.
Well, I get a feeling he's just going to cut the in and out and send it. For being real. He has to sit through it all once. I don't see him sitting through this 2 or 3 more times.
Very fair.
Oh boy. And if you made it this far, more than anybody, thank you so much
Yes. Oh my.
for listening to Sportsfeld.